It rarely feels good to lose something. Money, friends, your temper, subscribers even, but somehow none of that comes close to the feeling of losing in a video game. I don't know what it is, but people have done and said some awful stuff just because they didn't win. Now I know what you're thinking. How could somebody be that mad at a game? It's just pixels on a screen. And you know what I say to that? The phrase "it's just a game" is such a I can't finish this. You'll often find that in team games, it's always someone else's fault. Even if you did throw the game, it's almost universally agreed upon to always blame your teammates. I guess it's an easier way to cope with lost time instead of coming to the fact that you might not be as good as you thought you were. You want to know what's a better use of your time? Today's sponsor, Opera GX. Opera GX provides a ton of customization options to your browsing experience. You can install mods and they have a community section too, so you can make your own if you wanted to. Installing a mod only takes a few clicks. Scroll through the GX store and find a mod you like. Then click install and there you go. The mods support things like background music, shaders, animated wallpapers, browser and keyboard sounds, and you can do all of this while keeping your browser usage low with the GX control. Limiting the CPU and RAM ensures that you always have enough resources for your games. The sidebar also allows you to quickly access your social media. Twitch, Discord, TikTok, and other social media apps can be directly used in the sidebar, making it easy to post or respond to messages. And if you're worried about losing your data when switching to Opera GX, you can import all of your settings from your previous browser. This includes things like your history, bookmarks, cookies, and Chrome extensions are compatible with it too. So if you're looking to spice up your browser and have more control over it, you can click the link in the description and download Opera GX today. Again, thank you to Opera for sponsoring, and I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of this video. However, in 1v1 fighting games, there are no teammates to blame, so when you lose, it feels way more personal. The only other person you can really direct your anger towards other than yourself is the person that just beat you. It would be kind of funny to be angry at them because like, what, you want them to lose on purpose or something? I feel like that would kind of be worse. Regardless though, that anger has resulted in some of the funniest interactions, and it's why we have glorious compilations like this. But there are some players who take it to another level. They don't want their opponents to just lose. They want to send a message. And what better way to do that than by using moves that make your opponent look as stupid as possible. Sure, you could make someone look dumb by spamming DPs or something, but I'm talking about moves that are purposely designed to make the other person feel bad. Let's start off with something everyone's familiar with: butts. The infamous butt attack has been around for quite a while. One of the oldest examples of a butt attack is from a character named Helga from Clay Fighter. I know nothing about this game except for the fact that it came out in 1993, and their main theme sounds like this. Unfortunately, Helga's spotlight was stolen 2 years later by Yuri Sakazaki in KOF 95. This move is undoubtedly a gimmick because in her intro animation, she taunts her opponent and then slaps her butt. Also, the move is literally called Big Butt Press, so there's that too. A common theme with butt attacks is the ability to loop them. If they use their butt, 9 times out of 10 you can do it multiple times in one combo. This is where the true BM starts. Now your opponent has to sit there and watch their health drop one butt at a time. Although there might be a couple people who actually like that, so I don't know. However, there is one butt attack that rules them all. One that doesn't come out horizontally, but instead from the sky. Why did they decide to give a grappler a butt splash? I don't know. Look, he needs it. As goofy as it looks, it has a surprising amount of utility. It's a fast way to get back to the ground, so if you missed Heavenly Potbuster, you can easily shift your momentum with this move. It also has cross-up potential, because it's hard for your opponent to tell if you're in front or behind because the camera isn't focused on them. And of course, it wouldn't be an authentic butt attack without being able to loop it. Not only can you do it on the ground, but in the air too. This is truly what peak performance looks like. Another thing that makes people scratch their heads is randomness. Randomness in fighting games is usually frowned upon, so much so that it's an insult. If someone calls you random, they're basically saying you don't know what you're doing. You're just inputting random moves like a bot would.
Bot? That was a bot jumping. Why would you do that?
So things that have the ability to induce randomness like stage hazards or items, those are usually turned off. Nobody wants to lose because their opponent got lucky. But what if luck is built into the character? Well, there's actually a category for that. Luck-based characters don't have to try to be unpredictable, because if they don't know what's going to happen, then you definitely don't know. There are generally 2 ways randomness manifests itself in characters. You have moves that use random items, or moves that do random amounts of damage. For example, Faust is an item-based character because a very integral part of his gameplay is tossing random items into the air. He has 9 different items to choose from. Some are really helpful and others not so much. Sometimes his items can even backfire if you don't have a setup ready. For example, if you don't hit the bomb right before the fuse goes off, your opponent has enough time to hit the bomb back, turning it into a game of hot potato. But my favorite Faust item is the afro. If your opponent picks it up, it has special properties, like for example, it can catch on fire. I also like the fact that you can give them a haircut too if you want. But if you want to see what every single item does, I'll leave the dust loop in the description. Mr. Game & Watch is a good example of the other side of the RNG spectrum. Instead of having a wheel of items to choose from, he has one move that does a random amount of damage. It's called Judge, where he swings a gavel, and a random number from 1 to 9 displays above his head. The higher the number, the more damage it does. They also have different special properties. For example, number 5 produces electric charge, number 8 freezes the opponent, and number 9 just straight up does a bunch of damage and kills early. The move comes out pretty fast, and you could keep fishing for it if you wanted to. Now let's talk about supers. At their worst, they're just a glorified special attack, and at their best, they're a beautifully animated cutscene. But some of the coolest looking supers are the ones that embarrass your opponent. Sasquatch from Darkstalkers has a super where he makes an ice puddle under his opponent, making them slip and fall, which breaks the ice. And then a whale comes out of nowhere and slaps you back out, all while Sasquatch dances and laughs at you at the same time. He also has a move called Big Sledge, where he sits on you and a pack of dogs pull him around. If that isn't toxic, then I don't know what is. Kirino Kosaka from Fighting Climax probably has one of the most ridiculous supers I've ever seen. You've probably seen it before if you watched this video. She puts you into a claw machine and then picks you out of it. And you can actually turn it into an interactable minigame if you hold an attack button from the start of the super. It doesn't affect damage, but you can try to get a high rank. In JoJo's Heritage for the Future, Dio straight up has a super where he pulls out a bulldozer and then crushes the opponent with it and then punches it till it blows up. I knew JoJo's was dramatic, but not that dramatic. Ultimately, the mental aspect of fighting games has a big influence on match outcomes, sometimes even bigger depending on the player. So if you can inflict mental and physical damage in one move, it's a pretty good deal. I can appreciate moves that do that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Which moves do you think annoy people the most? It could be from any fighting game. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, join the Discord to hang out with us, follow my Twitter for updates, check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel and get extra content, and I occasionally stream on Twitch. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.